this quote kind of changed my perspective, and it said, "You might not be someone's main character this week, but that doesn't mean you won't be in a future chapter."
Hey babes,
I'm Madeline.
and I'm Deja.
And welcome back to the Elegance Exchange. So today's episode is for the girl who always kind of feels invisible, and maybe you just need a pep talk this week, and so we're here to do that for you. So maybe your crush hasn't noticed you in one of your classes, or you feel like your friends are always busy. That's okay. We're here to support you, and we're gonna guide you through as your big sisters. So, your value doesn't decrease just because somebody doesn't notice you, or just because the teacher doesn't call on you to answer questions. Truthfully, sometimes the most influential people are the quietest, or they're the ones that don't get noticed all the time. There's absolutely nothing wrong with being in the background for a little bit.
Your time will come, but in the meantime, it's just important to focus on yourself. And maybe you didn't get noticed, but that doesn't mean you don't have to you don't have to just shy away and let it all just discourage you and kind of like corner you into like this little self-sabotage bubble that you created for yourself.
It's so normal to feel like you are just in the background and to feel unnoticed or to feel invisible, especially if you were on a sports team or you are like very academically minded.
Or like in a club, like art club or something.
A lot of the times there's so much competition and so many people are amazing and intelligent and put themselves out there that it's totally normal for this to happen. It's totally normal to feel this way. You aren't alone. It can be a lot of the time really intimidating.
Especially when you have to when you feel like you have to put yourself out there. Even back in high school, sometimes I always felt like if I didn't say something or if I didn't include myself in something, then I wasn't going to go unnoticed. So sometimes I just told myself it'd be best just to shut it down. But most of the time, it's really about putting a step forward and being like, hey, maybe we can do this for our event or something.
Right. And, maybe your advice isn't always taken. That was something that I would often struggle with. I would never understand why nobody seemed to listen to me or understand where I was trying to come from. And truthfully, sometimes it's not because they're not listening to you, but it's because they're wrapped up so much in their own brain, or they're just not even thinking about it. They're not even thinking of, oh, like, maybe I'm not taking her advice very often, or maybe I should listen to what she says for a minute. Sometimes we get so involved with ourselves that we truthfully think that our advice is always right. And maturing is realizing that sometimes you aren't always right. Sometimes you need to change it up just a little bit. So yeah, just know that your value doesn't decrease if somebody doesn't listen to you or doesn't follow your orders. Honestly, the best type of leader is the one that can kind of go with the flow.
At certain times, just decide that it's best to just agree to disagree and let it simmer out,
Absolutely. This quote kind of changed my perspective, and it said, "You might not be someone's main character this week, but that doesn't mean you won't be in a future chapter." Think of Bridgerton, right? There's so many characters in Bridgerton, but for each season, there's a different couple. Maybe your season just hasn't arrived yet. Maybe you aren't meant to be the high school it girl, or maybe you aren't meant to be the academic rivals, lovers, from college.
Right?
Maybe it's just not your chapter. Maybe you're meant to have that cute Hallmark love story in a few years after you graduate college and you're in New York City and you move back to your hometown to fall in love with somebody. Who knows? Maybe it's just not your chapter yet, and that's okay.
Timing is everything, and sometimes you just have to trust it. Sometimes it's discouraging, and sometimes we're like, it feels impossible. It feels like I'm always going to be left out. It feels like I'm always going to be invisible. No one's going to notice me. But if you just give it some time, your time will come and you will get it eventually. But you just have to work on yourself and you have to make the most of the things you do to get to that spot.
Absolutely. Start building the habits as though you already have your dream life, right? So a lot of the times we get so stuck in the mindset of, well, this isn't happening right now, so it's never going to happen. How would you be living your life right now if you knew and you were guaranteed that you were going to be just fine in life? You were going to get your dream person, your dream life, your dream family, your dream house, whatever. You were going to get that perfect reality for yourself. How would you be living right now? Would you be moping around, not doing anything, not living your life every single day, worrying about what other people think of you? No. You would be having so much fun. You would be exploring. You would be traveling the world. You would be putting yourself out there. You would be having fun and making all kinds of new friends. So why are you stopping yourself now?
Mm-mm.
Because the only thing you're doing by stopping yourself is hindering your perfect reality.
Mm-hmm. And sometimes we look back at life and then we reflect that, like, maybe it wasn't so bad. Like, maybe we were just fine. We just needed to trust the process, which that's mostly what it is. You need to
Yeah.
trust the process.
Honestly, high school is a tough one. And
High school is very complicated.
even if you're in college, sometimes we can get so lost in the social circles if you're in a sorority or if you're in clubs or if you're trying to be top of your class, You can feel so lost and so confused because you went from a setting where, you were the top dog and now you're not. And now you have to rebuild everything.
You gotta start from the bottom.
It's okay to feel invisible. Everybody starts there. Everybody feels that way. It's like every coming of age movie ever. Everybody starts at the bottom. They're kind of like that little geek or the quiet one in the classroom that never gets noticed.
Yeah, or like the little office intern that's just there, just the intern, but they want to be the one at the desk with their own office.
Right, think of the Princess Diaries. I mean, Mia literally goes from this sweet and shy person who is maybe considered the ugly duckling of her school, even though I don't think Anne Hathaway could ever be ugly. But, maybe she built into this beautiful princess and future queen, and she is so charismatic and builds her personality. You are just not in that stage of your life yet, and that's okay, but start building up to it. Don't just sit around and mope and feel like, oh my gosh, people are ignoring me forever.
Exactly, I'm by myself, like, there's nothing I can do, this is my life.
Because the more energy you put out like that, the more miserable you're going to be, the more you're going to attract.
Yep.
You don't want to be miserable. You don't want to attract that negative energy. That's no fun. Nobody likes that. I don't like that. Daisha doesn't like that. So don't put yourself in that situation.
And you don't want to live your life with that. You do not want to go on 4 years with college and high school and maybe even like your career workforce with that type of mindset where it's like, everything's going wrong, everything's nothing working my way. You just need to continue to build up yourself and improve it.
Right, and maybe you're just not in the right social circle yet. Maybe you're in the wrong club. Maybe you're in the wrong sorority. Maybe you are in the wrong friend group. And that's okay. But start to branch out. Start to experiment. Find other people. Find other groups. You'll find the people that you are meant to be with. Truthfully. And do something every day that makes you feel good. So
Right.
maybe, having your nails done gives you a little confidence. It makes you a little more like, oh, let me go up and solve a math equation on the board for the class because I feel like my nails are done, so I look presentable. Or maybe wear a cute outfit to school and be the main character. I know I am always in some extra outfit, and people probably are like, why is this girl dressed like this to college? It's college. Nobody gets dressed up. But it makes me feel confident, and then it makes me feel put together. And it makes me feel good. I feel noticed. I don't feel invisible anymore. And that's so important.
Or go read a book, go read a book, enter this like little fantasy world or read something that you enjoy and then try and connect to some of the characters and then maybe go out and have that inspire you to go do something,
Right. Maybe be the girl in the cute cafe or the library, just journaling or reading the aesthetic book with her AirPods in, but sipping her little coffee or matcha. Be that girl. Be cute. Just have fun with it.
Literally, go on a run, go into that like athletic side or the physical aspect of it and go on a run or go work out at the gym. Go do some yoga or Pilates because it'll make you feel confident in yourself.
Make yourself feel like the main character even when people aren't watching you. That's so important. A lot of the time, the main characters in the books, they aren't trying to be the main character. They aren't trying to be the person who saves the whole entire book. It just happens because that's who they are. That's going to happen to you. You're going to build your own story, but you have to be you. You can't try and be somebody you're not to be the main character.
Right.
So yeah, hopefully that was inspiring and hopefully that made you feel a little less invisible and made you feel, a little bit more normal because truthfully, it happens to everybody. I think literally every single girl I've ever met has gone through it, and I'm sure guys go through it too.
Yes, every single person goes through that at some point in their life. And it restarts. It's going to happen every other time. The fear of missing out is real, and you're going to have to restart every single chapter. You're going to have to build up, whether it's going from middle school to high school to college, and then college to the actual workforce.
Right. So just know that you're not alone, and it's totally normal and A-okay.
Mm-hmm.
So we are on a bunch of different social media platforms, and we have added one new one.
Mm-hmm. We're on TikTok, Spotify, Instagram, YouTube, and we're now on Instagram Threads, which is now trending.
It's a little fun. We have some fun ideas for that coming out. I don't know.
Our most popular one is TikTok and YouTube, and we love seeing the comments and the feedback
Yes.
and maybe even some recommendations for some future episodes.
And down below in our bio, we have some more similar episodes to this
Mm-hmm.
to give you some more ideas, or maybe, give you a little bit more motivation to make you feel seen or heard. And yeah, all of those links are also down below, so make sure you go check us out.
Okay.
All right, we love you, babes.
Bye.